Okay, let me ask you a question. 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months down the line, will you come in and tell me what happened?
I'm delighted to. I hope it'll be on the front page of the paper if we can get it on the front page of the paper, because when we believe we're 2 or 3 weeks away now from concluding this long saga, and it can't come a day too soon for me.
As you said, those negotiations have been going on for a while, and they've changed and they've altered and they've slowed down.
Well, I don't think the basis of the deal is done. It's just about getting all the legalities and all the contracts put together.
So if between now and then there's if it ends up stalling again for whatever reason because those legalities take longer, how much longer would
I can assure you there is all pressure being applied to get this resolved.
So it will happen?
It will happen.
Okay.
Well, question then. What's your vision for the future with the council?
But my vision is, well, we're now in a new phase that effectively, as far as the council's concerned, although we don't talk so much about the council these days because we work in partnership really all of the time. It's about all of the public sector agencies coming together in Swindon. We have this new concept called One Swindon, which I don't know if you're familiar with, but effectively what that's saying is that all of the public sector agencies in Swindon will work together with the voluntary and community sector, with the business community, to create outcomes for a One Swindon. So what we're saying is we're one community, we want everybody coming together to deliver for Swindon. And that Swindon, we started 5 years ago with zero partnership working in this town because of the distrust that the council had got itself into with its previous problems. We're now seen as the leading council in the southwest in terms of partnership working, and we're seen as one of the best in the country. And every time I go to London, councils like Birmingham are coming to us asking us how we're achieving what we're achieving. Birmingham's the biggest local authority in Europe, so we're doing something right here. So my vision is one community connected together. The council's going through a process now of dismantling the council as you know it, moving away from siloed departments of service delivery, pushing much of the service delivery down to the local cluster areas, keeping the town hall very corporate and strategic, with a commissioning function and what have you. Like street services will probably be managed centrally like they are now, but the local areas will be able to determine within a budget what they spend their money on. Do they want more grass cutting and less dog bins, or more dog bins and less grass cutting? They will start having to make those decisions that we currently have to make, but it will be done in conjunction with local people to the extent that local people want to participate. Local people won't necessarily make the decision because decision making rests with councillors, but the councillors will have to engage with the residents. That's the vision. It's about making Swindon a very well connected place, moving forward, building on all the things I've talked about earlier, and just making it as good as it can be, really.
Well, we've got about 4.5 minutes left.
Yes.
Let's have a chat about AV.
Why not?
Because this has been such a calm, collected conversation. What's your view on that? And what's the Conservative group's view on it?
Well, the Conservative Party's view has been to support the No campaign. I tend to look at these things as an individual and make my own decisions, but actually I've come to the decision that I should be voting no anyway, because there are so many things that just don't feel right about AV to me. I mean, I think my strapline is, if you've got a system that's less than perfect, don't make it worse.
Where do you get the evidence that it's less perfect?
Well, that's just my judgment. I mean, I do like the principle of one person, one vote, right? And the idea that the person who's the candidate who's got the most support is the one that's likely to lose under AV seems just I struggle with. Well, I have got that because if that one candidate doesn't get 50% of the vote,
yeah,
and then the bottom candidate drops out, and then that candidate's second and third preferences start being allocated, the chances are that it's the one in second place that will win. Now that is the evidence as I understand it. And so you've got the people who vote for the candidate in first place effectively get their first preference used once, and the people who vote for the least popular candidates will get their preferences used time and time again. No, that is a fact.
No, that's not. If you come first, right?
Yes.
You're not the first one to be kicked out, so your vote is counted in the second vote, and the third vote and the fourth vote.
No, but the people who voted for the candidate in first place don't get their preferences used at all.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
They get it used every time.
No, because it's all the other candidates' preferences that get used.
which could include that first place person having additional votes being added to them.
The bottom candidate drops out and their preferences are used, then the next candidate drops out and their preferences are used. The people who vote for the first candidate, they only get one bite at the cherry, effectively.
Yes, but...
So anyway, we can argue about that, but so you move away from one person, one vote, which I have a problem with. It's not a proportional it's not a proportional system.
Never said
and the whole unfairness of first past the post was supposed to be that it wasn't proportional, and now we're proposing to go to another system that's not proportional. So I'm not quite sure, and given what I said earlier, I'm not quite sure how that makes anything better. And if it was such a fantastic system, why is only 3 countries in the world using it? And 2 of them, Australia, Fiji and Papua New Guinea. Australia is not convinced about it, although I heard that 60% didn't like it. Fiji are getting rid of it, and the only one that really is excited about it is Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, but if you take the 60%, you could say, well, 60% of the entire population of this country since the Second World War have been against the current government.
I know, I accept that. I accept that. I'm not saying that the current system's perfect, but to me, if we're going to make a fundamental change, it should probably be the proportional route. Okay, I know that wasn't an offer, and don't challenge me on why that happened. But we're dealing with AV at the moment. You should go the proportional route, but then the problem with any proportional system, as we know with MEPs, is that you lose the constituency link. And then it all becomes very remote.
Yes.
So there is this idea that there is a better system out there. I'm not sure there is a better system. All you've got is a collection of different systems. And I think it's pretty marginal as which one's better. And part of me thinks, and the confusion you're going to... I mean, my mother even struggled to fill in the ballot paper for the referendum. God knows how she's going to struggle dealing with the ballot paper for AV.
No.
Because,
I'm very twitchy about that one, to assume that I can't count up to 5.
Because at least but at least you know you've got to put one cross, one vote. And people then think, well, I just think people are going to find it very complex. I'm not convinced that AV does anything.
I think the people in this country are a little bit more intelligent than that, but I think they cope with it very easily.
I think it just gives more say to the minority parties. So what? The other is one more issue. I think the coalition it's gone down quite well with people, and I think given that this is the first coalition we've had for God knows how long, it's quite remarkable how well it's working actually. And people on the doorstep actually like it. But the problem is, the Lib Dems chose the government, and they would do that every time.
Rod, thank you very much for coming in.